Good morning, everyone. It's Bagels and Business for Breakfast. I'm Sharon Taylor, CEO and founder of the Business Vision and Development Center. And as always, I'm here with my lovely co host. I am Yvonne Lorraine.
Ooh, good morning, everyone.
Well, Yvonne, people keep asking me, or they'll say, "What do you think about this business idea? What do you think about this? What do you
Mhm.
think about that?" So I figured today would be apropos to talk about business ideas.
Okay.
All right. So we all get and typically, I just want to say people get ideas about business, one, because they always feel that they can do it better than somebody else. Say if you're in a regular job or you're
Mhm.
somewhere and somebody's running a business, oh, I can do it better than they can.
Mhm.
Or you have a problem, which usually is where business ideas come from. You're having a problem or you see a problem and
Mhm.
you say, I've got a solution for that.
Yes. Either having that solution for it, Sharon, or you realize that somebody definitely is not doing it for the right reason, which was one of my reasons for starting, and knowing that you have a heart and compassion for what you want to do.
That is so true. And when you think about it, when you're doing it for the problem solution reason,
Mhm.
you might look around and say, well, somebody else is kind of doing it, and somebody else might be kind of doing it. But like you said,
Mhm.
sometimes we may have a novel idea about the same problem, but you
Mhm.
may have a different solution for a different set of clients.
Yes.
So I encourage people, if you see something, say something when it comes to business ideas. And then the other thing is, if you're working somewhere and you figure they're idiots or they don't know what they're doing and you can do it better, that may be true. But I also want you to consider you may not see what's going on in the back room
Mhm.
that keeps this business going. And people get into things and businesses where they have to be all things to everybody. So I
Yeah.
want people to consider that too. The other thing is when we start a business, we want to keep in mind, is it scalable? Or are you just starting a business to be in the same place 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Or do you see a vision of it growing? That's another thing to think about when you're starting your own business and you have an idea. Is that idea scalable?
Yes, and Sharon, also it's important for people while they're thinking about the ideas to make sure that there is a need for the business. So you do have to do some research and some homework because there does need to be a need for it versus your hobby. Because some ideas are just meant to be hobbies.
That is so true, and I've had some. Some
We
things
all do.
I just like to do, and I don't care about scaling it. I don't care about
Mhm.
profit and loss margins. I'm going to do it because I love to do it. And
Right.
sometimes that happens with my writing, but that's another subject. So if you want to generate revenue, then you got to be able to vision that business growing. When people come to me with a business idea, a lot of times, and I think this may have to do with, like if you talk about a certain car, then you start seeing a lot of cars.
Mhm. Mhm.
When people come to me about business ideas, and I say, oh, yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Mhm.
And I might think it's a novel idea or
Mhm.
particular niche, but it seems like all of a sudden the universe aligns and now I see 10 million of these same types of businesses. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you have an idea, time is not our friend sometimes.
Mhm.
especially in this fast paced world.
Mhm.
The idea that you have, I'm sure somebody else in this world is thinking about it simultaneously and may have already acted upon it.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna give you an example, and I don't want to get off subject. I was working with a client who wanted to do a virtual business card.
Mhm.
And this was a while ago. And I said,
Mhm.
oh, that's a great idea. Then I start seeing all these virtual business cards. Dot, dot, card is the main one I kept seeing. And I
Mhm.
said to him, you know, people got these QR codes. They can
Mhm.
hit your phone, hit their phone. You can go online. You can share your business card in so many ways now.
Mhm.
And he was still in the development stage. And
Mhm.
so, as he still is, but in that span, so many virtual business card companies have launched. So I
Mhm.
say that one, if you get an idea, kind of keep it to yourself. Two,
Right.
you got to be able to act when the door opens for that.
Yes.
So the other thing I want people to think about is when you think about your business, you're going to have doubts and fears, right? But if they, if your doubts and fears are real, then you may want to pivot a little bit. If they're just, oh, somebody might like it, my family might think I'm dumb or something like that, you can poo poo those to the side. But some doubts and fears are relevant. If there's only a niche for two people have the problem that you're trying to solve,
Right.
maybe that's not a good business idea.
Right.
So what do you think, Yvonne?
I totally agree. And I think that's why a lot of times people, they'll say that the business did not survive, and it was because that the situation did not necessarily call for a business. And I just wanted to bring that up again because I
Mm,
just think it's very
mm.
important to take the time out to make sure that you do your research, because even if you're doing a business and you're going to want funding in any kind of way, they want to know what the need.
Yes.
So that's very important when you're thinking about your idea. Feel like that you are the one who can make it happen. And yeah, do it scared because it should be a little scary, to be
Yes.
honest.
If it's something new, just like people that say they speak all the time, they speak in front of crowds, it's always a nervousness that comes with it. And it can be a good thing. And then you step into it and you be like, yeah, I crushed that. And then you go on to the next thing. An- Another thing I want to talk about is people want your products and services. And I know we talk about focus groups, we talk about asking our family, we talk about asking our friends. But I want people to think about going outside the box because a lot of people call me, oh, my brother said this the best idea he ever heard, or so and so, my frat brothers or my sorority sisters, they think this is the greatest thing. And sometimes as a community, we don't like to put a truth monitor on somebody's idea because then you're labeled as the hater or they just don't like my idea. But you have to be able to request a constructive conversation. You can't just say, what do you think about it? And you know who your people are that's going to say, that's stupid. And you know who your people are that's going to say, well, okay, you want to reinvent the mousetrap. That's a great idea. It's so I implore people to get people that aren't necessarily part of your inner circle, but people that would be using your product and service and see what their ideas are.
Yes, and Sharon, I like to add too. Number one, take your idea from your mind, put it on paper, and take time out to. And if you're a praying person, the best ideas are the God-given ideas for real, because those are definitely the most out of the box ideas that you can definitely get. But take time out, put it on paper, and when you sharing your ideas with others, you just want to make sure that because you want to get it from your mind, because things can make sense to us and that
Yes.
makes sense to other people. So the conversation, like you mentioned, Sharon, having that type of conversation with somebody about the idea, and be willing to hear, let them ask you questions. Don't get offended because somebody didn't understand and ask you a question.
Right.
And and then yeah, and take that and use that, because if that person didn't understand, most likely there's someone else who won't understand as well.
You got that right, Yvonne. I am so glad you shared that. And I also want to share those who are kind of nervous about it.
Mhm.
Um, you can do your idea in snippets, just little pieces at a time. And just always remember everything you see in front of you was once an idea. This world wasn't just like this. We woke up and it was here. Somebody had to think of a chair. Somebody had to think of Zoom. Somebody had to think of laptops. Somebody had to think of these glasses I'm wearing. So just remember that ideas grow and become things, but you got to do the work. You got to be committed to it, and you got to be realistic about it. So, with that being said, we'd love to hear your business ideas. Please share them with us. Please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe, share, like, ring that bell, and get us some subscribers. How you doing today, Ivana? Was that good for you? Because it was good
Oh,
for me.
oh yeah, that was some good information. Yeah. So I hope everybody listen to it again. Go back and listen again. Share with somebody else, especially if you know somebody who's thinking about trying to
Starting
start a
their
business.
own business.
Yes.
Okay, we'll see you next time on Bagels and Business for Breakfast. See you soon.
Bye.